Has it ever happened that you just could not place your finger on that one word which would exactly convey your thoughts or feelings? Hello, learners. Warm greetings to you all. Today's lesson is about vocabulary building. Vocabulary constitutes an essential element of your Cambridge O-level English paper. There is no secret recipe. If you wish to upgrade your vocabulary, extensive, regular, and continuous reading and listening is key. Read independently, both for instruction and pleasure, from varying materials that can range from magazines to blogs or even travel brochures. Additionally, reading aloud for your friends, siblings, or family can be very beneficial. In the absence of an audience, look at yourself in the mirror and practice your reading or conversation. Listening to songs, audiobooks, or podcasts is another way of improving your vocabulary. Since these resources are digital and readily available, why not listen to them while traveling or doing sports or your favorite indoor and outdoor activities? On top of reading and listening, you can subscribe to applications such as A Word a Day or WordUp, which can be installed on your smartphones in the blink of an eye. Jot down new and interesting words in a vocabulary copybook or create a folder on your phone or PC. The words can be associated with images and translated into a more familiar language for easier memorization. You could also include a note on pronunciation. Remember, if you don't use it, you lose it. Therefore, use the new words systematically. Furthermore, always consider the words within the context that they are used, as it provides us with insight on the situation, which in turn tells us about the meaning. Let's look at a few examples. I left my phone on the left side of the room. The committee chair sat in the center chair. While they are at the play, I'm going to play with the dog. She will park the car so we can walk in the park. The crane flew above the construction crane. What did you notice in these sentences? Indeed, on one hand, we have the same words having different meanings, but when there is repetition, it can become quite tedious. This brings us to wonderful tools which can be used to avoid repetition, that is, dictionaries and the thesaurus. These can be used to find synonyms, antonyms, nature and meaning of words. You will discover a plethora of adverbs, adjectives, nouns, and verbs that will not only uplift the level of your language, but will also come in handy when having to write in your own words and or explain terms and expressions. Let's have a look at how we can enhance a simple sentence. The band was marching down the road. We can add an adjective to describe the two nouns that we have, namely band and road. For example, boisterous and winding. Then we can add an adverb to have a better idea on how the band was marching. We can use steadily. We therefore have: the boisterous band was marching steadily down the winding road. We can furthermore add affixes to base or root words in order to expand our vocabulary. Prefixes are added to the beginning of the base words to form new ones. There are prefixes that produce antonyms or opposites. For example, anti, d, an, in, im, ill. These usually denote the opposite meaning of the root words. Let's have a closer look at the table. When we add the prefix anti to the root word social, the adjective antisocial is formed. The prefix d placed before the verb motivate forms the new verb demotivate. The verb unlock is derived from adding prefix un to the root word lock. Adding the prefix in to the verb active gives us the verb inactive. Moreover, adding im to the adjective possible creates the opposite, which is impossible. The prefix affixed to the adjective reversible forms the antonym, which is irreversible. Lastly, if we add the prefix ill to the word legitimate, we end up with illegitimate. Other prefixes having different meanings can also be considered. For instance, the prefix n, which usually denotes the causing effect. When affixed to the word able, the verb enable is derived. The prefix for denotes anything done before or earlier. Therefore, adding it to the verb cast leads to the creation of the verb forecast. The noun forefather is derived when for is added to the noun father. New words can also be formed by adding suffixes. These are inserted at the end of words, and a few popular ones are ise, en, ate, and ify. We'll have a closer look through a few examples. When we add the suffix ise to the noun character, it forms the verb characterize. How about when it's added to the adjective visual? You try this one. Yes, the verb visualize is formed. Now, add en to awake. We end up with awaken. The next one is for you. Add en to the adjective short. The verb shorten is obtained. Moving on with ate. The noun liquid is transformed into the verb liquidate. The noun fabric becomes, indeed, the verb fabricate. The last suffix we'll add is ify. So let's add it to class. We get classify. What happens when it is added to just? Good. Justify. Remember that there are many other prefixes and suffixes that we can use to create new words. Dear learners, today we can use technology as a tool to boost our vocabulary. Word games such as Scrabble, an online version, can be played with people from all over the world. This provides a golden opportunity to converse in English too. Here's a list of other games that you can play: Boggle, crossword puzzles, wordscapes, Pictionary, amongst others. Word association is a simple but interesting group or individual activity. Let's say we have the word hobby. Each member of a team takes turns to propose one word that is related. For example, leisure, pastime, recreation, sport. Word ranking, that is, arranging words in order of intensity or from positive to negative, can help to explore the various shades of meaning and connotations. For example, let's rank the following groups of words together: walk, saunter, hobble, skip, stroll, stride, tiptoe, limp, trudge. And we're going to arrange them from positive to negative, which gives us saunter, which means to walk in a slow or relaxed manner. And on the other extremity, we have trudge, which means to walk with great difficulty. All the other words in the middle show various ways of walking. Let's have another round. Happy, ecstatic, joyful, cheerful, content, merry, delighted, exultant. And we're going to rank them in order of intensity. And we end up having cheerful on one side, which means being in a good mood. And at the end, we have exultant, which means immense happiness. And now for a last round. Smell, perfume, aroma, whiff, stench, stink, fragrance, and pong. And we're going to arrange these words from lowest to highest intensity. And therefore we have whiff, fragrance, and in the end, stench. So whiff means catching a fleeting smell, whereas stench is a strong, disgusting smell. Last but not the least, converse and interact in English as often as possible. Talk to your friends, acquaintances, relatives, and family members in English. Why not have 1 or 2 English days per week? Let's have a look at the various strategies you can use to improve your vocabulary. Read and listen. Subscribe to apps such as A Word a Day. Create a vocabulary bank in a copybook or a folder. Context is crucial to understand certain words. Use a dictionary or thesaurus. Play word games. Converse and interact in English. Dear friends, that's all from me today. Thank you for your attention. And remember, you can learn a new word a day, but if you don't use it, you lose it.